Good morning, everyone. Good morning, especially to all of my fellow chronic pain warriors. Some of you may know, and some of you may not, that I do have some chronic illnesses that I deal with, namely dysautonomia, always also known as POTS, and also I have cyclothymia, and which is more of a mental health issue, and also fibromyalgia. That's the main thing that I've been dealing with over the last 2 years. Well, this morning I wanted to talk to you guys about cyclothymia. That one, for me, sort of has a stigma behind it because it's more to do with my mental health. And I'm realizing that it's very important for us to be able to talk about those things. So let's do that. Let's talk about it. Cyclothymia is one of those disorders that is characterized under the category of a bipolar disorder. It's similar to bipolar in that it affects your mood. My mood can swing from being somewhat elevated to being a little bit less than ideal, I'll say. It's never to the point where it just causes me to be severely depressed, but I do get depressed. I can wake up feeling a little bit out of sorts. Sometimes I have to fight, like today, I woke up and I really just had to kind of fight, try to push through. I don't want to make content. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to, think about cleaning house or, I homeschool my grandchildren. I don't really want to even get their lesson plans ready for the day. It's just one of those days where I feel challenged. So I'll have to put in some extra effort. Um, and I just wonder, like, what tips, if you know anybody, or if you have bipolar 1 or 2, or even if you have cyclothymia, like, what kind of tips do you have for those days where you wake up and you just don't really feel it? You just don't want to work. You don't want to, do those things that bring in your income, or, you know, you just don't really want to participate in life. You don't want to be observed. You don't want to observe anybody else. You don't want to engage with anybody. So just kind of share with me any tips that you may have that could, help me out on this journey. Cyclothymia is something that I've only recently been diagnosed with. I think maybe about 7 months ago. And I am in therapy. I've been in therapy for consistently for the last year and a half. So I do, all of the work. I've been on this journey for quite some time. And I just want to know, like, what are you guys doing? What's helping? What have you tried? Is it medication? I am taking some medications. Um, so I'm not opposed to those. So, and then also if you, and this is kind of jumping, but if you have anything like one of the, like autism or ADHD, how does that affect the cyclothymia or bipolar disorder that you have? And are you taking medication for that as well? Does it interfere? Um, like, what should I ask for when I speak to my psychiatrist about it? Because sometimes it just gets a little bit hard to manage. And I have, like I said, I homeschool my grandkids here. I'm not working right now. I did end my career at the end of June this year, and it was work from home. But my health got to the point where it just wasn't sustainable for me anymore. So, I'm very fortunate. I realized that not everybody is in a position where they can just make that choice. And so, my heart does go out to anyone who's in that position. I've been in that position before, so I do know what that's like. But at this point, God has blessed me that I'm able to just, focus on my health right now and focus on those things that make me healthy. So tell me, what's working for you? What should I think of? What should I look into? Um, Cyclothymia, POTS, fibromyalgia. Any tips you may have, whether it's medication, herbal supplements, anything. I'm open. Thanks. Bye.